So this is my Khorne 1750 points. It's unbound, but in this scenario it doesn't really matter. So for my 1750 points, I've got a squad of 8 berserkers here with a power sword on the champion, another squad of 8 with a power sword, another squad of 8 with a power sword, one more squad of 8 with a power sword. Over here we've got 8 flesh hounds. Back here we've got 8 bloodletters with a standard, musician and the champion, and same there. In the middle there we've got a box standard herald, no upgrades at all. We've got a defiler, another defiler, a blood slaughterer with a impaler, and a hellbrute with a plasma cannon, and that's my 1750. So it's unbound because I've got an extra heavy choice, but except for that, for this scenario it should be lots of fun. So let's see what Tom is going to bring for his. This is Tom's Black Templar and Grey Knight force holding the redoubt. So Tom, do you want to go through what you've got here, starting on the left?
Yeah, so first of all it's unbound.
Yeah.
And other than that we've got a Crusader squad with a plasma cannon and a plasma gun. Other than that we've bolters in there. Got an ironclad dreadnought with 2 heavy flamers, a seismic hammer and a normal power fist, and 2 hunter killers.
Okay.
Yep. And then down here we've got a Purifier squad with 4 psi cannons, and they're armed as is, so halberds and swords. And then another Purifier squad here with 4 incinerators.
Yep.
And swords.
Okay.
This is a dedicated transport for that unit there.
Okay.
So obviously they can't get in it, so it's just deployed. And then in the tower we've got Centurion Devastators, all armed with grav amps and missile launchers.
Great. Yep.
And then here we've got a Dread Knight with personal teleporter.
Yep.
Psi cannon and heavy silencer.
Okay.
So heavy psi cannon, I should say. And at the back here, just in case some people try and sneak around the back, we've got a standard Crusader squad with bolt pistol and chain swords and the Emperor's Champion, who's the current HQ.
Okay, so it's your warlord.
Yep. And then got a Razorback with heavy bolter, which is dedicated transport for one of the squads down here.
Yep.
And the Razorback, which is dedicated transport for this one over here as well. So
okay.
Heavy twin mint las cannons.
Right. Okay. So that is your army. But it's 1850, isn't it? With the with the dreadnought. So we're giving Tom a little bit more here because of course he's got having a bit of a hard time trying to hold out against the dueling forces of Khorne. So let's see what the battlefield looks like and what the mission is. So this is our battlefield for today's scenario. The attack on Hill 88. Tom, do you want to run through what the scenario is today?
Yeah, well, we'll attempt to, because it's a bit rough around the edges, but basically, Khorne are assaulting this last kind of defensive location on this planet, which we're going to call Hill 88 for this purpose of the game. And the aim of the Khorne's objective is to get to within 3 inches of the statue to get 3 points, and also the building for 3 points. And they also do an additional one if they're inside the defence line. Just 1 point for doing that, essentially. And the objective of the Imperium forces is to hold out for 5 turns, holding on to the objectives if possible, to wait for their pickup to leave, essentially.
Yep. So waiting for extraction.
Yeah. On top of that, to simulate the fact that they're completely surrounded and cut off and the world is full of, essentially, world-eating forces.
Yep.
Every time one of the Chaos forces dies, they can come back on, the troops can come back on one of the board edges. And the board edges are as follows. We've got board edge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And 6.
Just to make sure that we don't spawn too far away so they can get straight back in the fight.
Yeah, it's like an ongoing reserve of berserkers. Every squad of infantry you kill will probably be coming back. And
then the vehicles can possibly come back on a 5+.
Yep.
That happens every turn after they're dead.
So vehicle-wise for Khorne, as I said earlier, we've got the Hellbrute, the 2 Defilers, and currently the Blood Slaughterer is in reserve with the 2 squads of Bloodlet, so they'll be deep striking on.
Yeah, and other than that, we've just got Slay the Warlord as an objective, and I think we're going to do Line Breaker, are we? Or
yeah, we can try Line Breaker, and we'll see how we go. So here we are, the Khorne forces are massing up now, preparing for the final assault on the valiant defenders of the Imperium up on the hill here. Will they be able to hold out for 5 turns against the tide of Khorne? We will see.
Indeed.
So it's night fighting, and I believe the attackers are going first, and we'll see what Khorne can do. in our turn 1. Turn 1 movement for the Khorne Daemonkin. Everyone's charged forwards. They can see the Imperial forces awaiting them. And Bloodlust has got hold of them, so they're all charging forwards. Everything's just pushed up here. Hellbrute's on the flank slightly. These guys are all up. These guys are all there. And yeah, so most of them are run. The Defilers haven't, so they'll be firing their battle cannons, and the Hellbrute will be firing his plasma cannon. But everyone else has run up, except for the Hounds. So you might try a first turn assault. We will see. Turn for the Khorne Daemonkin. This Defiler fired his battle cannon up here. Hit the raised back and a couple of Marines. I don't think he killed any Marines.
Kill one Marine.
Kill one Marine when it's scattered because of the defence line and night fighting. Elsewhere though, this Defiler fired up his battle cannon and Reaper and hit this squad and knocked out half the squad. They're fearless, so they're going to hold the line. Plus they've really got nowhere to run. So that's all we did in the Khorne Daemonkin shooting turn 1. So on to assault and see if these Flesh Hounds can charge into the Templars. Daemonkin turn 1 assault. The Flesh Hounds ran up the hill here, engaged in combat. One got killed to Overwatch, but we killed 3 Marines. And Marine, passed the leadership, and the Marines didn't fight back. So at the end of Khorne Daemonkin turn 1, we've got up the hill, and we're pushing up. Let's see what Black Templars and Grey Knights can do in turn 1. Black Templar and Grey Knight turn 1 movement. So Tom, do you want to go through what you've where you've moved around this turn?
Yeah. So in response to the battle cannons firing at me,
yep,
I decided to shunt my Dread Knight over to here.
Yep. Okay.
To shoot him in a minute.
Okay.
And then just move my Ironclad down, ready to hopefully have a
charge
crack
into
at
the
them.
Berserkers.
Other than that, pretty much stay put.
Right. Okay. So let's see what
shooting
Templars are going to do in a second. So turn 1 shooting for the Black Templars. Tom, do you want to go through what you've done?
Yeah, first of all I did cast Sanctuary on him.
Yep.
So he's got a 4 up invulnerable, and also I've got Banishment on that one, so he's down to a 6 up invulnerable on his Demon save.
Yep, okay.
Other than that, he shot his heavy Psy Cannon and took 2 hull points off.
Yep, two
shook him, but you passed your save.
Yep.
Sorry, whatever to negate it. Obviously they're in combat. These Purifiers shot there for 3 Psy Cannons at the rear squad and took up, was it?
We have lost 3 on that squad,
yeah,
yep.
3 there. And then they also shot their Storm Bolters at the squad down here and took none off actually.
No.
Other than that, these guys, the Centurions shot at the front squad there and took out, I think it was 4.
Yeah, so they relocated, so they took out 5.
Yeah,
so,
5 on there.
A little bit upset, but we're still pushing forwards.
Yeah. Well, that last cannon shot at that Defier took off 1 whole point.
Yeah, 1 whole point.
Other than that,
So
the other one shot as well, but
didn't do
anything in the end. So
yeah.
Now we're moving on to the assault phase.
Right, okay, see what Templars can do in turn. So Black Templar and Grey Knight turn 2 assault, turn 1 assault, sorry, and the guys are fighting on here. The Flesh Hounds are taking 2 more Marines out, and the Marines weren't able to inflict any wounds at all on the demons. So it's still going on at the foot of this great statue. Over here, the Ironclad failed its charge down the hill, so the Berserkers are slightly relieved about that. And yeah, so it's a little bit painful for Khorne Daemonkin in turn 1. So let's see what we can do in turn 2. Turn 2 for Khorne Daemonkin movement. Right, these guys are coming in from reserve, so Deep Striked in and brought in the Blood Slaughterer as well, so he's eyeing up this raised back up on the hill. Elsewhere, Hellbrute's kind of circle around a bit more, trying to get a better shot at the Centurions. Defilers pushed its way forward to face off against the Dreadnought. These guys are heading up that way, these guys are skirting around, but this squad of Berserkers couldn't resist, and they're probably going to try charge for the Dreadnought there. And this squad there, the Heralds relocated into the squad behind. So that's my movement. Still pushing forwards, just dealing with the 2 little beasties that have popped out. and we will see what I can do in my shooting for Khorne Daemonkin. Over here, the Reaper Auto fired at the Dreadnought before it charges in and took up a whole point. Over here, one bolt pistol fired up the hill, not quite yet ready to charge the Flamer squad. This squad here fired bolt pistols up and knocked out one of them. This guy fired his Reaper, didn't do anything to the ironclad. Let's go around the battlefield and have a quick look. It's looking pretty epic at the moment. Khorne are getting closer to their objectives. This Hellbrute fired once again up towards the Centurions. Unfortunately, it scattered off and just plasmid somewhere else. The Impaler fired and hit but didn't penetrate, so no dragging the Razorback. And this squad ran. So that was my shooting. Not a great deal, but Khorne don't really excel in shooting. So we'll be moving on to assault and see what. To assault for Daemonkin. Up here, this conflict carries on. We lost a Fleshhound. Another one took a wound, and the Marines are now down to two valiant defenders holding out. Over here, oh dear. Right, so Defiler went to charge the Ironclad. The Ironclad fired both Hunter Killers. One hit and basically knocked a leg out. So my Defiler is now immobile and at the bottom of the hill looking rather angry. Sad times. Elsewhere on the battlefield, right over here, the squad of Berserkers charged in. The champion issued a challenge and got swiftly executed, and one of his fellow Berserkers died as well. The Defiler also charged in, and nothing there, but I regained a hull point at the end of the turn through It Will Not Die. So yeah, we're getting there. We're slowly moving up. The battlefield's looking a bit more corny. And we will see what the Black Templars and Grey Knights can do in their turn 2. So turn 2 movement for the Black Templars and the Grey Knights. The battle
rages on.
Right, Tom, do you want to run through what you've done in your movement phase?
Yeah, I didn't do too much to be honest. This still round, so it can have a look at the Hellbrute.
Look over at the Hellbrute.
Same with this one, so he's got a choice of either that or that.
The Bloodslaughter or the Hellbrute, yep.
And then this move back to make room for this squad. Just
shuffle round slightly.
Just to keep an eye on these bloodletters that are...
Yeah, they'll be fine. I wouldn't worry about them.
Other than that, the Ironclad moved towards the Defiler.
Yep, so...
Even though it's immobilised, it's got a battle cannon, so...
Bit of a threat.
Do need to remove it.
Yep.
And that is it. So
that's it.
Next phase.
Right, so let's see what the Grey Knights and Templars are going to be doing in their turn 2 shooting. Shooting and psychic for the Grey Knights and Black Templars. Tom, do you want to run through what you've done this turn?
Yeah. So psychic phase.
Yep.
Was all over here. So we had Sanctuary on him, and then he got banishment. So he's down to a 6-up save.
Okay, and then shooting.
Yeah. He flamed this, but wasn't really to go for him, but to get the people at the back, and he took out. Was it 3? I think.
Yeah, took out 3. I think.
Yeah. These guys shot their side cannons at this squad here and took 2 off. Brilliant. Yep. Yeah. These also shot their storm bolters at this squad and didn't take anyone off.
No.
This shot at the Hellbrute over there.
And took a glancing hit on the Hellbrute.
Took a glancing hit. This one shot at the... Actually, yeah, no, shot the... No, that shot at the Hellbrute as well, didn't it? Didn't do anything.
Yeah, so both Razorbacks fired at the Hellbrute and caused 1 glancing.
Yeah. These guys decided to shoot down at the...
Centurions fired at the Slaughter and took 1 whole point off.
Took 1 whole point off.
And over there, the Templars and the Razorback fired at these guys and killed 3.
Yes, 3
total.
Right.
So yeah, lots of wounding, not particularly many killing blows.
No.
And right, Tom, shall we see what happens in turn 2 assault?
Ooh, yeah.
2 assault for the Black Templars and Grey Knights. Over here, combat finally finished.
Yeah. Horribly for the Templars.
Templars got shredded. Over here, this cheeky little boy charged down and blew up my Defiler.
Yep.
And over there as well, my other Defiler went. So 2 Defilers down, and yeah, not too good. Let's see if they come back in
turn 3.
Turn 3 for Khorne Daemonkin. 3 for Khorne Daemonkin movement. Right, so this other squad of Bloodletters has come in from reserve. Deep strike within the range of the icon there, so that's good. Hellbrute continues its quest to flank round. Bloodslaughter has got himself up onto the plateau and the hounds have turned round. These berserkers are in prime position now to charge in, and hopefully these guys can make a charge up the hill in the combat. My herald and his squad of berserkers are hopefully going to try and help those two out. But we will see. We will see how it all works out in the grand scheme of things. So moving on to shooting, and let's see what Khorne can bring. So turn 3 shooting for the Khorne Daemonkin. Pretty much the only thing that really happened is a bolt pistol hit this guy, knocked a flamer guy out of that squad. These guys fired as well, nothing. Hellbrute had to charge because of its damage it received last turn. And the bloodletters scattered out a little bit over here. So that is pretty much all my shooting. Moving into assault and see if we can cause a little bit of pain to the followers of the full set. Free assault for the Khorne Daemonkin. Over here the blood slaughterer charged in and completely shredded the Razorback. The explosion killed off a couple of bloodletters, but except for that it was pretty good. Over here the hounds and this berserker charged into the squad, wiped them out, and now they've consolidated all over the place. And over there the Dread Knight finally broke free and killed off the remaining berserkers, now coming back probably to aid his brothers in the defence of Hill 88. So moving on to Grey Knights and Templars and see what they can bring on turn 3. So turn 3 for the Grey Knights and Black Templars. Tom, you're kind of falling back towards your hill now.
Yes.
What's the plan? What have you moved?
Well, first of all, this guy's coming back. He's just going there for the moment. He might flame these guys in a minute, or he might run, depending on what happens over here.
Okay.
This guy jumped back over here with his teleporter just to
try and prevent these 3 from joining the fray.
These guys, the Razorback moved round to make room for the flames to line up
and try and flame some
and try and get rid of the dogs.
Yep.
This Razorback moved back away from the horrible Impaler over there.
Yep.
Because he didn't really fancy playing with it.
Fair enough.
And then the squad here went over there.
Jumped over.
And just to go towards the...
Squat, some more bloodletters there.
Which is probably going to be suicide, but they do need to be dealt with.
Yes. Right, okay. So let's see what you can do in your shooting. And so Grey Knight and Black Templar turn 3 shooting. So this guy fired on the berserkers and wiped the 3 of them out. The flamers over here incinerated the poor dogs, so they're now all gone. Dreadnoughts run up the hill. Centurions fired down the hill at the Hellbrute and completely destroyed it. And finally, these Black Templars fired into the squad of bloodletters and killed 3 of them off. So that is Tom's shooting. It's killed quite a few little squads have now gone. And let's move on to assault and see what they can do. Free assault for the Templars and Grey Knights. So these guys were over here, killed off the poor squad of bloodletters, and then jumped back over to try and defend the Grey Knight Razorback against the blood slaughterer. So it's looking pretty good. A lot of Khorne has died, so fingers crossed we'll have a lot more coming back in our next turn. So moving on to Khorne turn 4. Turn 4 movement for the Khorne Daemonkin. As you remember, the scenario was when infantry squads die, they come back on a random board edge. Also, Walker's got a chance coming on a 5 up. So, right, this is how the battlefield looks for the movement phase for Khorne Daemonkin. Berserkers, bloodletters, more berserkers, some berserkers here, some fleshhounds, Defiler, and a Hellbrute. They've all come back to help Khorne, come to crush the final remnants holding the bastion. Also, with my blood type points, I've got a Demon Prince that's turned up to I used to replace that champion there, so he's turned up. And my leader and his squad have pushed up slightly, so the battlefield is it's looking a bit more in Khorne's favour now. Tom's got 2 turns now to survive the wrath. I believe there'll be quite a bit of running in my turn now, and we'll see what the battlefield looks like in a moment. Daemonkin turn 4 shooting. Right, battle cannon fired up here. Killed 1, but his men have gone to ground, so they're now pinned, hiding behind there. Hellbrute shot up here, got a direct hit, but only inflicted 1 wound on the Centurions. But everyone else has run forwards, towards barricades. Some are even on the barricades now. So it's looking pretty grim for the few defenders that remain inside. Let's see if we can get some charges off, and what happens in Khorne Daemonkin. Turn 4. End of turn 4 assault for the Khorne Daemonkin. Blood Slaughterer charged in and took out the Ironclad, but at the same time got immobilised. The old leg popping Ironclad finally got another one. Over here the Bloodletters charged in, challenged, both got killed by the Emperor's Champion. So there's 2 more blood type points there. And yeah, pretty much that's it for the assault. These guys tried again to charge and failed, but you know, keep going, you're doing well. So moving on to turn 4 for the Imperial. Turn 4 movement for the Black Templars. Tom's fallen back there, shuffled around his Razorbacks a little bit. This guy's come back up the hill to face off against the Demon Prince, and these guys have come to face the tide of red that's heading towards them. So let's see what the Black Templars and Grey Knights can do in their shooting phase. So turn 4 shooting for the Black Templars and Grey Knights. Tom, do you want to go through what you did this turn then?
So this guy activated Force.
Yeah.
And got it off and shot the Demon Prince and killed it.
Yeah, but also perilled as well.
Oh, he also perilled as well, yeah, and lost a wound himself.
Yeah.
Lucky on a 1 as well. This Purifier squad.
Shot at the
Bloodletters, and they're all gone.
And the Centurions
wiped off the squad down here as well. They shot at the Fleshhounds and got 1.
Yeah, I think killed 2.
Killed 2, and they're about to assault them.
Yes. So moving on. So turn 4 assault for the Black Templars. They came charging over the hill, killed off 2 Fleshhounds. Fleshhounds didn't do anything back, but we are fearless at the moment, so we are good. So moving on to turn 5 for the Chaos and see what we can do. Turn 5 movement for the Khorne Daemonkin. These guys have pushed up a bit. The reserves are coming on thick and fast now, so we had 2 more squads run on. Oh no, got the squad of Bloodletters over there as well, so they're all coming on. Also, with the blood type points, got another Demon Prince to replace the one that just died. So the Warp Storm is pretty strong at the moment and piercing reality. The Grey Knights, Black Templars got to hold out. So moving on to Khorne shooting turn 5. Turn 5 Khorne Daemonkin shooting. What's happened? Well, this bad boy fired up into the tower and didn't kill anyone. But the Hellbreak fired up and killed off one of the Centurions. So it's 1 less, still pretty nasty. These guys are charged up, thrown a crack grenade at this Razorback, didn't do anything. These guys ran. A few bolt pistols went off and killed a couple. And that is pretty much it. Also the Impaler did try its luck and fired at the Dreadnought with its Impaler. Sorry, the Blood Slaughterer fired its Impaler. Did wound, but he passed his save. It would have been quite cool to drag him closer to the poor mobile Blood Slaughterer. So, right, moving to. So, at the end of Khorne Daemonkin turn 5 assault, these guys charged up the hill and took out one of the Razorbacks, putting the other one just on 1 hull point. These guys carried on fighting. Another Hound died, and I think another Templar died. Over here, though, the squad of Berserkers charged up the hill and killed out the Purifier squad. And I think that's pretty much it on the assault phase. So the lines are blurred now between Imperial and Chaos forces. Naturally, the Imperial forces are going to try their best to hold out and slaughter the heretics. So moving on to turn 5 Black Templar and okay, so turn 5 for the Black Templars and Grey Knights, holding hill 88. Tom, what movement have you done this turn?
Just hopped the Dread Knight from here.
Yep, so he's gone over here to face against another Demon Prince that's come out of the warp.
And these were just literally just looking at
reshuffled to look down at the World Eaters.
Other than that, these are still in combat, so can't do much else.
Yep, still locked in combat.
One remaining Razorback who's just sort of like, yeah, I'm just going to probably fire heavy bolter a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. So, right, let's move on to the shooting phase and see what the Imperial forces can do. And 5 shooting for the Grey Knights and Templars, and Psychic as well. So, Tom, you got Force off on your Dread Knight.
And then spun up the old Gatling silencer again.
And killed off the Demon Prince. Yeah. Second Demon Prince dead to that beast. Right, and these guys fired down and killed off the 6 Berserkers that were down there. Yeah. So, yeah, they're still holding their own just about. So moving on to turn 5. End of turn 5 assault for the Black Templars and Grey Knights. These guys finally lost one more though, and they killed off the Flesh Hounds. So well done. So that was it at the end of turn 5. We're going to end it there, and we will see who the victor was. So at the very end of the battle, the Khorne forces charging over the barricades for the Imperial position. Imperial defenders holding out. Just as the final bolt guns fall silent, the Imperial forces are able to evac and leave this planet behind. Unfortunately though, the Blood God does hold the planet. So at the end of that, we've called it a draw. The Imperial forces hold the middle bastion, but Khorne forces hold the relic. Tom did get first blood, but I also have line breaker. So yeah, we've called it a draw there. It's been a really fun game. Yeah. Okay, and Tom, do you have a model of the match?
Has to be the Dread Knight.
The Dread Knight. Bloody Dread Knight.
It wasn't just the Demon Prince, but he's been sort of all over the place and just keeping things ticking over.
Well, he's killed at least 2 squads of Berserkers, a Defiler, and 2 Demon Princes. Yeah.
No. Extra force mainly. I mean, yeah. He can't really sort of give it up to anything else. I've got force off, but. Yeah. Okay, yeah. For me, it would probably be the Blood Slaughterer, mainly because all the other units, except for my command squad over there, or my Berserker squad, my leader, the Blood Slaughterer is the only thing that hasn't died and did a fair bit of damage before he got mobile and kept fighting and holding the objective. So yeah, really fun game. If you enjoyed this, people, subscribe and we will keep giving you more and more battle reports. Okay, see you.